What's going on, Kings fans? It's your boy Tap, and we are here to break down the Sacramento Kings' first game of the year. They lost to the Suns. I don't. At this point, I already forgot the score. Let me find it. I mean, we just got absolutely thoroughly just destroyed. I actually had it up on my computer, and then I took it down. Yeah, we got thoroughly annihilated by the Suns today by like 30 points. It was disgusting. We played terribly. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and break it down for you guys though, because I told you guys I was gonna be breaking every game down, and I'm definitely doing that. With Skip or without Skip. Today it's without Skip because we had some technical difficulties and it's already got kind of late. So we just said, you know what, let's just forget about it for tonight. I'll just go it alone, and me and him work as a team, so it's just easy for us to, you take this one, I take the next one, vice versa. I'm not a very accomplished streamer as of yet, so if something sounds off or looks off or something, then just deal with it this time. But we are getting ready to break down this game, so let's do it right away. This will be on YouTube at a later point in time, so if you're gonna tune in for like a split second and then you gotta go to sleep or something, you can just tune in. It'll be on YouTube tomorrow morning by the time you wake up. Okay, so let's get into it. Our starting lineup was De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes, Bagley, and Dedmon. Not surprising. It's pretty much what we expected. Right away, I noticed defense was lacking to start the game. Not even necessarily. I'm not even talking like perimeter defense. I'm talking like the interior defense. Like Dedmon was killing us down low, like bad. It was gross. Move over a little bit more. It was terrible. I mean, we were giving up dunks to Dedmon, giving up dunks to Kelly Oubre Jr. Like there was no cohesion amongst our guys on defense. It was just it was. I don't know if I use that cohesiveness. No cohesiveness. Was that? I don't know. We were terrible. We were giving up tons of dunks, and even guys were just like driving right to the basket and dunking. And then I even hit the back button a couple times on my remote, replayed it, and there'd be times where who was it? Buddy would switch with Dedmon, Buddy would switch with Dedmon, but then Buddy would stay with Dedmon. He would switch, but then he'd go back with Dedmon and double team. Or maybe it was with Fox. But either way, Buddy would switch, but then he would start the double team, leave his guy wide open. It'd be wide open shot to the back, wide open, lane to the basket. There's tons of times where they would switch, but they'd half-ass it, and then it was if you're gonna switch and stay on your guy. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Bagley was coming up empty early. He had lots of misses around the basket or putbacks that just wouldn't go in. I want to say he started the game 1 or 4, 1 of 5, or he started the game 0 of 4 probably. Then he eventually made one. Basically we would have got blown out by 50 points if it wasn't for Buddy. And even something I noticed in the first quarter, and if you guys don't believe me, I have lines of notes I made here of the game, and this represents the first quarter notes. Within about 6 minutes of the game, I came to the conclusion that Buddy Hield basically was not getting any looks through the flow of the offense. There goes my my notes. I gotta get it. This binder is thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. I gotta. Anyways, Buddy was not getting any decent looks within the flow of the offense. Buddy was essentially, he was the offense for the Kings, but the half-court offense was awful. The half-court offense was ISO, or it'd be they dribble the ball up the floor, Buddy would get one screen from Dedmon, and then it would just be ISO. And when Buddy caught fire in the first half, it was because he was basically taking the ball and just jacking up shot. Not jacking up selfish, I'm not mad at him at all. I'm saying he was basically taking it upon himself to get the Kings going, because the Kings were not doing it on their own. It was bad, to say the least. The Kings their offense was bad, and Buddy was hitting threes. He was hitting twos. He was, and Buddy was finding his shot. And I noticed when Bogdan came in, Bogdan had basically the same problems Buddy was having. He couldn't get open in the half court. They were like not running anything for these guys to get open. It's like, what are you doing? But Buddy was getting hot. The bench came in eventually. It was Corey Joseph, Bogdanovich, Ariza, Bielitsa, Holmes. They eventually came in. They at first, his first rotation, Luke Walton's first rotation, he took out Dedmon and Bagley and put in Bogey and Holmes, which Bogey and Holmes has got to be like the duo this year, I think. Bogdanovich and Rashawn Holmes, that's like Bogdanovich and Willie Cauley-Stein had amazing chemistry their first year together. And I definitely think they could have, the same chemistry as Bogey and Willie Cauley-Stein, Bogey and Holmes. And then he eventually took out Fox and Kojo and put in Ariza, and he put in... wait, hold on. Yeah, so then he put in Ariza and Kojo, took out Barnes, took out Fox, put in Kojo and Ariza. And, I saw a lot of people complaining about Corey Joseph. Or not a lot of people. I saw one guy in particular on Twitter complaining that Corey Joseph sucked, basically. And I didn't get that. I mean, I think this actually, I will say this. This was the exact type of game when you need to bring in Yogi Ferrell. Because Yogi Ferrell is the kind of guy that when your team sucks that particular night, Yogi Ferrell will get you those buckets that you desperately need. So Yogi Ferrell was definitely, needed, and he didn't come in until we were already getting blown out. But anyways, Corey Joseph, Bogdanovich, Ariza, Bielitsa, Holmes. Bielitsa hit a 3, he airballed 1, then he hit 1. Holmes was a beast on the boards, and let me tell you something, we needed that, because at one point we were getting thoroughly out-rebounded by, wait for it, Frank the Tank Kaminsky. Yeah, Frank the Tank. Frank Kaminsky, he was rebounding us pretty good. It was disgusting. I was sick to my stomach. It was terrible. So Frank Kaminsky, he was rebounding. I mean, Rashawn Holmes, when he was in the game, he was playing very well rebounding, but we'll get to that in a second too, because I got something to say about that. So Holmes had nice rebounding. Kojo had a couple nice stop and start moves under the basket where he'd stop, change direction, fake change direction, then he'd go back the original way, and he would just ooh, it was nasty. First quarter, the Kings had 12 buckets on 4 assists, whereas the Suns had 11 buckets and 9 of them were assisted. So right away the Suns were moving the ball more, and that's obvious. Now when the Kings did get in in situations where they were full court, going back and forth, running, they looked like the Kings of old, like the Kings of last year. The Kings of old, that was 12 months ago. But they looked good like they did last year, running up and down the floor. That wasn't a problem. It was just the half-court offense that was an issue. So going into the second quarter, Ayton was looking like a stud. He had a little nice fadeaway mid-range jumper where he didn't even hesitate. He got the ball immediately, turned around, shot it over Bagley. 50-50 balls, the Suns were getting all of them. That's just how it was going. I mean, and our rebounding was pathetic. Once again, Rashawn Holmes wasn't in the game for a good portion of when our rebounding was pathetic. But even balls, Bagley would just miss the ball. It was really a weird game. It was just the worst luck game ever, mixed with I don't know, being the first game of the year. And I'm gonna get to the point later where I'm gonna say I'm not freaking out. It's the first game of the year. Don't worry, I'm not completely going hard on him. But I'm breaking down what I saw tonight. What I saw sucked. The half-court offense, like I said, was terrible. The switching on defense was horrible. But in the second quarter, when Buddy had it going, and he really started catching fire, Grant made a joke that Buddy's gonna call Vlade into the locker room and try to renegotiate the deal. I thought that was hilarious. Grant had me going on that one. So the second quarter, we were, towards the end of the second quarter, we had a 10, 12 point lead, I'd say. Then we kind of let it go. And, we probably got down to I want to say probably a 4-point lead going into the half. It was not, particularly something let's see. By halftime, it was 59-54. Okay. So yeah, halfway through the second quarter, we were winning 44-39. At 4 minutes left in the second quarter, we were winning 50-39, and then By halftime, it was 59-54. So, you know, the seeds were planted for us to blow this game in the middle of the second quarter. But I was like, the Kings got this. I mean, I figured they were just getting ready to be on a roll. Like, oh, they're gonna come out in the third quarter and just absolutely dominate. It's gonna be great. Didn't happen. So third quarter, sorry, I'm just trying to think where to go here. De'Aaron Fox had 4 fouls by 10 minutes and 30 seconds in the third quarter. And, you know, at this point, it was just, the writing was on the wall because they sat De'Aaron Fox, and then Corey Joseph came in, and we didn't look good. We looked bad. I mean, not that it was Corey Joseph's fault, but Corey Joseph came in, and the offense was just stagnant, just nothing but ISO. So many unforced turnovers, just throwing the ball away. It got to a point where every time somebody passed somebody else the ball, the person could not just grab the ball and dribble it. Every time somebody caught a pass, it was bobble. They're bobbling the ball everywhere. It was like, I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was like watching a middle school team. Third quarter, the Kings fell apart. Worth mentioning, at about 8 minutes, well, let me see. No, it was about 7 minutes into the third quarter, the Kings were completely falling apart. Or not 7 minutes into the third quarter, it was 7 minutes left in the third quarter. So what would that be, about 5 minutes into the third quarter? At this point, Bogdanovic had only played 8 minutes and Richaun Holmes had only played 7 minutes. Now, why is that a big deal? Well, Corey Joseph, when he came in, the offense stunk. Bogdanovic has experience playing the point guard for this team like he did last year. Now, I'm not saying, you know, bench Corey Joseph for Bogdanovic, but I would say, you know, Bogey only played 8 minutes at that point. Maybe you give him some more run. Richaun Holmes, we're getting out-rebounded. Put Richaun Holmes back in because we needed him. Well, about a minute later, you know, after I realized it's 7 minutes, or we're 5 minutes into this game and these guys aren't in yet, Holmes came in. But we were still getting out-rebounded, and it was just like, I even gave up writing notes for the third quarter here. I just wrote, like, unforced turnovers in big letters. I just was like, I was so fed up. Let me go back to my screen here so I can read chat. All right, so head into the fourth quarter. At one point in the fourth quarter, Bogdanovic was 1 of 10 shooting. So what did I just say? Well, we were struggling. We needed Bogdanovic to possibly, you know, do something for us to bring us back because we were playing awful. And lo and behold, it didn't matter because he couldn't make a shot anyways. It just fell on me. What was that? Something just fell on me. Bogdanovic was 1 of 10. He couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. With 6 minutes left, they took out the bench guys. They brought in De'Aaron Fox, Buddy, Bogdanovic, Harrison Barnes, and Bagley, which is the theoretical death lineup, the theoretical run you off the court, so much shooting you don't know what to do with it, so much athleticism you don't know what to do with it lineup. And it didn't do anything. It was nothing. You know, it wasn't, it didn't bring us back. And, you know, with 6 minutes left, we were down by, like, let me look to be for sure, you know, to be 100%, because I have it in front of me. We were down with 6 minutes left by 20 points, you know. It was always possible, I guess it would have been possible for us to make a comeback there. You know, 6 minutes left. If we get hot, a couple threes, a couple fouls go our way. But you know what was weird? This whole game, there was so many, and this is like one of those things that, you know, and this isn't why we lost, but this is something that was starting to piss. And like, I yelled at the TV twice. I can probably only count a handful of times I yelled at the TV last year. I yelled at the TV twice tonight. There were so many offensive fouls called by the refs, whether it was like a pushing off or like just like little bumps here and there, ticky-tack stuff. So many offensive fouls. It was like, I couldn't believe it, how many offensive fouls were being called. And, you know, it was just kind of mind-boggling to me. And, you know, every year this happens. Every year you got the point of emphasis. Oh, it's it's a point of emphasis this year that they're going to be calling this foul and they're going to be doing this and doing that. And they're really looking at this year. And then a month into the season, they won't call that foul for the rest of the year. It's like, why are you just screwing up the beginning of the games? To try to set a precedent that no one's going to follow. I understand the refs. There's too many players that complain and too many players that whine and moan to the refs about, this wasn't a foul. And I understand the refs trying to be harder on teams, but it's like, it's like, I want to make an analogy here, but I'm not going to. Point being is, it's just like, don't, it reminds me of the playoffs. In the playoffs, they call the game differently than they do the regular season. So you got the first month of the season, they have all these new rules they made up in the offseason that they want to try to enforce. And then about a month into the season, that goes away, and just the game's continuing to be called the same. And then playoff time comes around, it's a totally different game than from the first month and the middle of the season. So it's like, what are we doing here? Are we playing 3 different types of basketball, or what's going on? It's just kind of annoying. I just wish the refs in all sports, football, basketball, or not, baseball for the most part is fine, but basketball, football, figure it out, guys. It's not that, to me, yeah, it is hard to be a ref. I get it. Like, I get, you don't want to get booed out of the stadium. I understand, but like at some point we got to figure out something, because these refs in basketball and football are just like, and I'm not going to get into a rant about the refs, because we lost because we sucked tonight. It had nothing to do with the refs. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. But yeah, guys, this team, the unforced turnovers were just like, literally, there was a point where it was like watching elementary school basketball. It was like, this, because the Suns naturally are not that good. So they were like turning the ball over and stuff too. So they would turn the ball over, we would grab it, and like there was one time Bagley thought he had Buddy on a fast break, and he just like lobbed the ball up in the air, and it was like the worst pass I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, oh my god, like that was terrible. Like I couldn't believe, like, instead of like holding on to the ball and trying to calm down, they kept trying to run. Because, in all honesty, the reason they had to keep running was because they had no half-court offense at all. 0 half-court offense. And that's a problem. Because when things are getting sloppy, the Kings do not have the ability to slow down and do what they need to do to get some points on the board. If they're not running, they're screwed. And when they're running, sometimes they get sloppy. And if they get sloppy, it starts to snowball, and they can never just calm down and find like their zen. They need Phil Jackson out here to help them find their zen, because right now they don't have it. So we lost. I never even told you guys the final score, did I? 124-95. It was ugly. It was real bad. It was gross. And on the bright side, the Lakers also lost their first game. So if that makes you feel any better, then there you go. We don't get to the line enough either. Yeah, we don't get to the line enough. De'Aaron Fox. I will say this about De'Aaron Fox. For all the stuff he does good, the drive into the basket and the picking up he draws fouls, but he doesn't draw enough fouls. He should be getting to the line 10 times a game, at least, minimum. Like, he should be shooting free throws like non-stop. Like, he should be, but the thing is, it's like, okay, well, do you really want him driving to the basket and getting that beat up? It's like, I get that. He's not aggressive. Exactly. He's not aggressive enough to be as fast as he is. That's kind of the problem. It almost seems like the team has so much young talent. De'Aaron Fox either needs to be, I don't know, and that's Skip, by the way, in the chat. But I don't know if De'Aaron Fox he should be blown by guys having defense collapsing kicking. Yes, exactly. That's what he should be doing, but he doesn't. I don't know what it is. It's like, you look at De'Aaron Fox, and he has all the tools, and it's almost like the coaches need to get to him and tell him, you need to do this. You need to be blowing by guys, like you say. You need to be collapsing the defense to kick out to shooters. But for some reason, he'll like dribble the ball from the 3-point line like to the mid-range area and kind of like shoot a mid-range jumper. Or he needs to play with the intensity of a Westbrook, the intensity of a Derrick Rose. he doesn't want to piss the coaches off, and the coaches won't tell him to just go ape. Yeah, but he should, though. He should. And it's like, at some point, that's got to happen, because we're not going to win games if it doesn't. That's just straight up. That's just the facts. That's just the fact of the matter. He's too reserved, and someone needs to take the dog off the chain. 100%. It's exactly what it is. In terms of, bright spots for the team tonight, Buddy Hield, like I said, he went off. Buddy Hield destroyed the Suns for about 1.5 quarters. Bogdanovich, he was not good. I said bright spots, my bad. Harrison Barnes was actually surprisingly, we're talking about driving to the basket. Harrison Barnes was getting the ball at the 3-point line, driving to the basket, drawing fouls. I was like, damn, Harrison Barnes is balling right now. That's like not something I'm used to seeing from Harrison Barnes. I was like, ooh, I like this. Like this, if he plays with this aggressiveness all the time, he hit like a nice little, like a mid-range jumper that like went right. It was like a Kawhi Leonard jumper. It just didn't even touch the net. Didn't even touch the hoop. It just went right through. Marvin Bagley, I mean, he, in garbage time, he had 2, like, I'd say 18-foot jumpers he hit, which me and Skip got in an offline debate about mid-range jumpers, and he's, he would prefer Bagley to be catching lobs at the basket, and I get that. But I think it's important for Bagley to find his stroke, because he's got to be shooting corner threes. That's going to be something Bagley's got to do, especially if we're going to be playing him and Dedmon together. Bagley's got to stretch the floor. Dedmon's got to stretch the floor. They both have to take turns stretching the floor, or we could just go 5 out. But that's another problem I'm going to get to in a second with the 5 out thing. But Bagley, he if it takes him playing an extra couple minutes in garbage time to find his jumper, I'm fine with that. But the problem with playing in garbage time, as you guys saw tonight, Buddy Hield and De'Aaron Fox both got hurt. At the very end of the game, Buddy Hield stepped on DeAndre Ayton's foot. De'Aaron Fox kind of bumped knees, it looked like, with DeAndre Ayton, or I don't remember who it was, but either way, Buddy Hield, I'm guessing, is not going to play Friday. I mean, I've had times where I've twisted my ankle, and the next morning I wake up and it doesn't even feel like I twisted it. So we'll see how Buddy Hield feels. De'Aaron Fox, I think he'll be fine, but Buddy, I don't know. It seems like last year they were pretty careful with the twisted ankles and stuff. So I don't know if he'll be playing or not tomorrow or Friday, but we'll see. Other positive things. I mean, Bjelica hit his 3. Rashawn Holmes was very good rebounding. Trying to think what else. That is pretty much it for the positives. It wasn't the positives didn't last for very long. It was a lot of negatives in this game, but it is the first game of the season. I'm not trying to be like overly dramatic. I'm not trying to, say Luke Walton sucks, but my concern with this team is the 2 things I heard from Lakers fans was basically Luke Walton's sets sucked and his rotations were awful. And he played Ariza. At one point in this game, Ariza had played 20 minutes and Bagley had played 18. Ariza had played more minutes than Bagley at one point in this game. And I know, it's not going to be like that every night. But Ariza doesn't really do like something like that. He's not, a game changer. Ariza is nice for his size and his defense at times. But like Bagley should be getting more minutes than that, I feel like. And but the thing is, nobody really played good tonight, so I can't really hold out on Luke Walton too much. It's his first game of the year. I'm not going to sit here and say Luke Walton sucks. His rotations were complete trash. But it was just some weird stuff with the rotations. Like, why did Bogdanovich and Holmes why they had only played 8 and 7 minutes respectively going into the third quarter? And then the last thing I want to mention is the offense when they were in half court is really weird. They kind of would like all be on the perimeter, like playing 5 out almost. Then they'd be like one screen set and then they would just like play ISO. There wasn't enough movement like under the basket and moving in like Buddy should be running. Buddy should watch some Klay Thompson footage. Like seriously. Buddy needs to learn how to move off the ball, and he does move off the ball very well. But I'm not saying like he doesn't know how to do it. It is probably more of a coaching thing. But it's like, Buddy Hield. If they ran Buddy Hield off screens like Steph and Klay run off of screens, Buddy Hield averaged 30 a night. But, I mean, there was too much ISO. Buddy Hield already doesn't dribble that well. He's a turnover machine. He's a lot better than he used to be. But still, he can turn into a turnover machine at times. And tonight, you know, was an example of just turnovers and not enough movement on offense. Like, there was, and you know, for us having like the fastest player in the league, De'Aaron Fox, the best three-point shooter in the league, Buddy Hield, pretty much, besides Steph and Clay, and I don't know who else do you want to mention, Bradley Beal maybe. Exactly. We need to treat Buddy like Golden State treats Clay. Just exactly what I said. For us having the fastest player in the league and probably the best player coming off screens in the league, if we had him coming off screens constantly, for us having those two guys on the team, and us being completely stagnant on offense, it makes no sense. And if it's not fixed by about game 15, I can see Kings fans coming for Luke Walton's head, because like our personnel is too skilled, we're too talented, we're too quick to be looking like we're in molasses. Even in the half court, it shouldn't happen. You know, and I don't know what else to say. I mean, that's just it. That's what we're dealing with right now. I don't want to be too negative, but I'm not going to be too positive. I'm not going to sit here and go, "Oh, the Kings played great, guys. They almost won. And just a couple things would have gone their way, and you know, we lost by 30." And go to Twitter right now. Go to any Kings Twitter right now. Oh, thanks for the raid. Video Game Bang with the raid. Let's go. Go to any Kings Twitter right now. And Kings Twitter is like a dumpster fire. It's awful. Like people are pissed, and this is not gonna last long. Like, Kings fans cannot. Drew in the TARDIS. Is that the name? What up, guys? Lost Sheep. What's up? How you guys doing? It's Kings fans cannot take it. Another losing season. It's something, you know, and the thing is, this isn't even like, people aren't even going to be mad at Luke Walton per se, because this is a Vlade Divac. This is like Vlade Divac's. This is Vlade Divac's thing. Vlade Divac is, you know, supporting Luke Walton through and through, and if this doesn't turn out good, this is going to be coming from Vlade's head. Not even Luke Walton. Luke Walton's just going to be like, you know, I don't know how you'd put it, just like the bystander in all this, because Vlade brought in Luke Walton. People thought like seems like the Kings fan base was divided on you know, bringing in Luke or keeping Dave Yeager. Oh, new follower. Thank you guys. Thank you for the follow. So yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't want to say and repeat myself. So overall, let's give an overall in the game. Bogdanovic, he played pretty similar to how he did last year, just missing shots. I thought at one point he was going to get hot and bring us back because he hit a nice little mid-range jumper, but it fell flat. And Bagley, he's got to get better on offense. Like, his little hook shots and stuff were just, oh, I mean, and you know, of course they're going to be better. They're not going to be this trash every game. But it's just really disappointing, you know, as a Kings fan, when you see a team that should be good and they're taking L's. It's just like, oh, it's not what you want to see when the season starts. So, De'Aaron Fox, hopefully he's not hurt too bad. Our team did fall apart offensively when he was off the floor. So, you know, hopefully Corey Joseph can, you know, pick it up a little bit next game, see what happens. Buddy Hield, he was worth every penny. Bogdanovic, he didn't shoot very well. Dwayne Dedmon didn't do much, but I think it's going to take some time for him to really, you know, get his role in the offense. Take some time for Dwayne Dedmon to, you know, start. I want to see Dwayne Dedmon shoot a couple more three-pointers. And then as far as our bench goes, I mean, Kojo, Bogey, Ariza, Bielitsa, Holmes, they looked good out there. It's just, you know, it's going to take time, and I don't expect it to happen overnight, but it's just disappointing to see a game end up like this. So, guys, that is the first breakdown of 2019-2020 Sacramento Kings season. I want to thank you guys so much, everybody that's in the chat right now, all 5 of you guys. Lost Sheep, Drew, thank you for the follow. Pratt Gamer, Special Cases, of course, my boy Skip, who is the other host of the Sactone Breakdown. Thank you guys all for being here. Thank you guys, YouTube channel. You guys are gonna be getting this, in the next couple hours. So thank you guys for watching on there too. And I want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for supporting us. And we will see you guys Friday night for the next game against the Trailblazers. Well, the Trailblazers lost tonight, so they're gonna be pretty butthurt about losing. We're pretty butthurt about losing, so someone's gonna be super butthurt Friday night. We'll talk to you guys then. Thank you guys so much for watching. From my boy Skip in the chat, this is Tap. See you guys in the next one. I love you guys.